Much better boxer. He's probably the best boxer ever, but it just shows that he does have trouble with the smaller southpaws.
Right.
And he has trouble with speed, and that's why I watch the Shane Mosley fight quite a bit, and that gives me a lot of direction also.
Can you talk? Let me just get this on the video here. But Freddie, can you talk about the issue of Oscar not being able to pull the trigger? This was a comment you made about a year ago, and I know it's still kind of lingering as the days dwindle to this fight.
The thing is, he's just not the same Oscar. He's just, the thing is, he was landing the jab early in the fight, and then he just stopped doing it. He stopped pulling the trigger with Mayweather. He just stopped because his mind is not strong, because it's really hard to have a good sharp mind when you're not active, and activity is the key, and that's why I think that's the biggest thing about this fight. This is the fourth fight for Manny Pacquiao this year. Oscar hasn't fought 4 times in 4 years. You're a part-time fighter. You can't be sharp being a part-time fighter, in my opinion. And Oscar, I know he trains hard and so forth. I work with him. He worked really hard for me, and he was very dedicated. But I see. I think being inactive is going to hurt him.
What about the fact that he did fight in May against Steve Forbes, and he is fighting at a welterweight level?
I think that's going to hurt him, because you look at the history of people when they drop back down in weight class, like when Terry Norris killed Sugar Ray Leonard when he dropped back down in weight class. When Roy Jones dropped back down in light heavyweight, he got killed. I mean, I think the weight's going to really be a big factor, and I think him being at 147 this far out from the fight is actually not realistic, because he's going to be weak going into the fight. I think that's a big issue for us, and my guy outweighs him right now, and Manny, we're coming down to 147. We're not coming up, and I don't believe we're the smaller guy. I think we're stronger, faster, and he may be taller, but that's the only advantage he has.
Freddie, before the David Diaz fight, you told me that you thought 147 was going to be too much for Manny. When did you realize that he would be able to handle 147?
When Manny weighed 147 going into the Diaz fight. When he walked into the ring that night, he weighed 147 going into that fight. So when I saw him fight and I saw his speed and his power at 147, I realized that he could fight at that weight.
So that's when you were confident that you could take on Oscar at that point?
Yes, it was.
What does that do for his power?
You know what? He's much stronger. He's not losing weight, making himself weak. At the Diaz weigh-in, he was 2 pounds over the day of the fight. We had to lose 2 pounds, and he told me he said, "This is our last fight at 135." He said, "I want him to 140." So then when the opportunity to fight Oscar came about, I said, "Well, 140, 147. Oscar's going to come down and make himself a little bit weak making that weight." I mean, he couldn't even make weight. He had trouble making 150 when he fought Forbes. The country was 50. He came in a pound heavy. So I know he's going to struggle to make the weight. He might be at weight now, but I know he's killing himself to make it. And I think he's going to be weak going into the fight.
Right. Oh, wait. Freddie, when was the first time that you felt that Manny could fight at that weight, at 147?
When I saw him at the weigh-in going into the ring. They weigh him right before he went into the ring. He weighed 147 pounds. I said, damn him. I said, you know what? He's going to be a little sluggish tonight with Diaz, and maybe a little bit slow because he's too much weight. I thought he put too much weight on. And you know what? He didn't. he was great that night. He was explosive. He fought, I think, the best fight he's ever fought. He had a very disciplined fight that night, and it's a very similar fight of how we're going to fight Oscar, even though Diaz is not Oscar, of course, but there'll be a lot of similarities, I think, in the fight with his footwork and his hand speed.
Have you seen any of the video footage of Oscar from his training camp?
Just what you saw in 24/7 last night.
Did you think he was very thin? A lot of us thought he looked pretty thin up there.
I guess he is. I don't really know. I find it really odd, though, that they're training. They run at 6 a.m. and they train at 8 a.m. There's no separation between running and workout time. When Manny works out, when he runs, he has to have like 5 or 6 hours of rest. I mean, in between workouts, if you're really working hard. You cannot have 2 workouts that closely together. I think he's taking us lightly, and we're going to take advantage of that.
What does Without giving away strategy secrets, what does he have to do?
Well,
Worry about.
it's no secret that we have to get past the jab. I mean, I'm not giving my game plan away because everyone knows that. That's Oscar's best weapon is his jab. If he can dictate the pace and keep you on the end of the jab, he'll do well. But we have to get inside that jab, and that's what we've been working on with our sparring partners, and he's handling it very well.
Oscar at 35, and I think it was like 85 for those 13 fights. You've seen his earlier fights, greater fights, don't see much of a difference.
Well, he's not, he's not quite as active. He's a little more patient. He tires a little bit quicker, and he has trouble focusing on the game plan. I mean, he does. He's always, his mind wanders in there, and he's even said it before. He has a weak mind. I have sports psychologists. They call me up all the time. They want to help Oscar, and then I ask Oscar if he wants someone to help him, and he laughs at the issue. But he's weak-minded. I mean, and that's not. I mean, I don't say nothing bad about him, but it's just some people are strong-minded, like Manny Pacquiao is very strong-minded, and he can hold the game plan throughout.
What do you think about matching wits with Nacho again? You've been up
You know what?
Against
I'm
his
getting my
fighter?
guy ready. He's getting his guy ready. I mean, Nacho. I don't like Nacho. I think he's an asshole. So, I mean, no. The guy, I put my arm around him one night, had him take a picture. He says, "What, do you want to blow me?" I mean, that's disrespectful. So I said, I have no respect for the guy when he said he made a comment. I wanted to slap him when I found out what he said in Spanish. But then the people said, "Oh, it's just a sense of humor, Freddie." I said, "I don't think it's funny." So that's why I say that. I'm sorry. The thing is, the guy disrespected me. I don't like him.
How'd you react to Oscar's prediction of a knockout in 5?
Dreaming.
Is there any bad blood between you and Oscar?
I think there's a little tension between us right now and so forth. I don't like that he blames me for the fight, because when the fight was over first, he said, "Well, I don't feel like a loser. I don't think I lost the fight." Now he says it was a bad strategy, but who walked away from the game plan, me or him? I think he did. So when I'm attacked, sometimes I'll lash back sometimes, but I have that instinct in me to do that. But I like Oscar. He's a good guy. He treated me well in training camp. He paid me a lot of money. I have no problems with Oscar. Hopefully we'll be friends someday, but right now, I don't think so.
Freddie, training with Amir Khan, has that helped Manny in any way?
You know what? I started training Amir Khan, and when I started working with him and saw how fast his left hand was, his jab, he has a great jab. And it's faster than Oscar's and better than Oscar's, and I thought if Manny can deal with that jab, he can deal with anybody's jab. So that's why I've been using Amir Khan. And the last day of sparring was Saturday, because I have to stop using him now because Amir's not fighting the southpaw in this fight coming up. So I'm done with Amir right now, but he worked out very well for me.
Thank you.
It's almost like a credibility contest now between you and Oscar. You guys going back and forth saying so many different things. How do you feel about that? And at the end of the day, is that a Manny victory sort of validate
It's just
the things you're saying?
It's just, well, he'll say something bad about me, so I'll say something bad back. But honestly, I do like Oscar. He did treat me well in training camp, to be honest with you. And I've never had a problem with Oscar. And I have fighters that fight for Oscar, and I hope it doesn't hurt our relationship because, we do business together and so forth. I do like Oscar, but he's fighting my guy right now, and I'm gonna get my guy ready, and I'm on Manny Pacquiao's side. I mean, I'm with my guy 100%, and Oscar, I feel that Manny will knock him out. I mean, that's my true feeling. I mean, I'm very confident in this fight. Some people think I'm crazy, but I don't think so.
Thanks, Freddie.